I'm going to take notes on you.
Okay.
And ultimately move forward with things that the next call you do, they will know what homework you've gotten.
Okay.
And they will know some of the things that you're pressing up against that you have to work on, because you can get a lot done in a month, right?
Right. Yep.
So, and that's kind of the goal here is you're going to be basically connecting with us, getting homework, and then connecting with us again constantly.
Right.
So it's, tell me about that then. So I don't think I've ever done a call with you.
No.
What made you want to do this gold membership?
Well, I've been a coach for about 1.5 years now, and I started the business because I have been in post-production for over 25 years. It's never been my passion. I've always been passionate about health and fitness. And I started with my coach, and then I decided I wanted to be a coach. And I started out like gangbusters, and then I just I'm not in love with my coach. She's not very helpful. So I joined you guys. Gosh, I don't even know. It's probably been 1 year. And I'm just, I'm not a great planner. And so I'm not great at, which I'm getting better at, but I'm not great at, time frame. Like I'm not great at planning when I can do my work. So, that's my biggest obstacle right now is figuring out my blocks of time and how to utilize my time better, because I am one of those people who like shiny object. I will go and start trying to get some ideas of what to post about. And I go down this rabbit hole of looking at other people's posts, and then I start following them. And then I'm, that whole thing. And I know I'm not alone in that, but that is one of my problems.
Okay. So you struggle with maximizing the time that you allot towards Beachbody every day, not good with time blocks, and also gets caught up in looking at other people's stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I'm just going to write this down just to make sure, because I already have some ideas to help you.
I will start doing one thing like, okay, I've got to do my posts for my business page, and I'll start doing that. And it's like, oh, you know what? I haven't done anything on Instagram stories yet. I better do that now. So then I'll hop over to that. So it's like, I got to just stick to what I'm doing and like put on tunnel vision and just stick to that, and then put aside time for the stories and
Okay. So you're really good at like starting some stuff, but you're not good at finishing and following through.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm really passionate about doing this. I really want to do this full time. I have big goals and dreams, and I think I could be good at it. It's just managing my time and being more confident in myself and knowing that I do have the ability to reach the goals, because sometimes I will talk myself out of it and tell myself that, no, that's not necessarily true, and you aren't good enough, and you'll never be a $100,000 earner or whatever, 1-star diamond, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. So. Okay. Well, let's go backwards then a little bit. In the beginning of these calls, like the first half of these calls, I like to kind of dive deep into learning more about who you are and a little bit about your story. And let's start with, okay, so I understand why you wanted to get this gold membership. Well, let's go backwards a little bit more. Why did you want to, what made you sign up for Beachbody? What made you want to do that?
I wanted to get healthier. My avatar is a woman who's reaching midlife, who is freaking out about turning 50, who's starting to put on some weight, who doesn't feel good in her own skin, who, which is me. And I was terrified about turning 50, because in my mind, that means you're getting old and you're on the other side of the hill and things start falling apart. So I became a client of Beachbody because I wanted to get healthier and fitter. and I loved the company, and and it worked for me. And like I said, I was interested in nutrition, and exercise was always a problem for me. I wasn't great at it, and I didn't love it, but I learned to love it. And so my nutrition knowledge, with keeping myself accountable and starting to get into fitness, I decided I wanted to be a coach.
Had you been into fitness before then?
No, not at all. I would go to the gym once a week, twice a week, doing a class here and there, but that was about it. But I was really always good about my nutrition.
So you were you for the most part ate pretty healthily.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You just didn't. You were kind of casual with your workouts, but exactly. So what was the big tipping point then? Was it hitting 50 that made you think I have to take my physical health more seriously?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. So it was more of like trying to be proactive about as we age.
Yep.
Okay. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. It felt good. So I'm just trying to think about like the reason this is important, Tracey, and the reason you want to kind of go back to this, and you had mentioned, my avatar is a little bit, basically it's a lot of my story. Yeah. That in marketing, if you want to connect with people, if you want people to actually start wanting to be part and say yes and get them to raise their hand, they need to understand the pain. And they need to, rather more importantly, they need to know that you understand the pain that they're going through.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. And I will say this, you mentioned, look at, please critique some of my posts. Right now, you're not doing any of that. You're not digging into anyone's pain. You're just basically being a beach body billboard on there.
Right. Okay.
And that's why you're not getting any engagement on those posts.
So I need to know more about their pain points and get into the painful part of why they need to do this.
Well, in marketing, and I'll help you with this because this is where it's going to be coming back to, this is not about your biography here. This is not about you just sharing, I love fitness. You should too. Who wants to get in shape? Because it becomes very pitchy and people will run. All right. Yeah. Then you basically, the way you're positioning yourself now, and I'll go through and I'll screenshot and I'll look at some posts because you have some good ones too.
Yeah.
Right? And you can tell the difference and why one's doing well and one's not. It's very clear. Yeah. You're almost posting two completely different ways on your page.
I know. I'm all over the place.
Well, it comes back to what you had said, which you understand that.
Yeah.
Okay. You understand some of the things that you're pressing up against. All right. So when we do these things, Trace, when we look at these things, we need to kind of identify, like, what are some of the things that I'm struggling with? What are some of the things? Why did I want to be a Beachbody coach? Well, for you, it was you're trying to be proactive with your health. Maybe you weren't going through some big weight loss transformation, but you were just trying to be proactive because you knew, like, hey, I'm not getting any younger. I need to start taking care of my body.
Yes, absolutely.
And being smarter about these things, and which is great. And those are things that a lot of people do struggle with and press up against and have to deal with as we age. We all do. Yeah. And so what you want to do is start thinking about how can you, because here's what you got, right? You've got about 4,000 fans, and it's not hard to get people in to look at your store. Your page is like your storefront, okay? Yeah. It's not hard to get someone to come look at it, the banner ad, and looking at this. That's not hard. That's easy on Facebook. I teach. You know how to do that. Yeah. The hard part is getting someone to say yes and wanting to learn more.
Definitely.
All right. So you need to make a shift in how you're thinking about your page. You need to make a shift in realizing that this is about them, not about you.
Right.
Okay? Yeah. So when you're writing your posts, and I noticed even on a lot of your lives, you just have like 4 or 5 words. It's not going to grab attention. So you have to start thinking like your avatar, not just trying to talk to her.
Okay.
And the way you want to do that is think, would I comment on this? Would I be interested on this page? And right now, I'm telling you, if you went to a page that was identical to what you're putting out there right now, and you were in a position a year and a half ago, you would not give that page more than 10 seconds.
Right. I know. And I know all this because there are times where I think that way, and I think that's when my posts are good. And then there's times where, and I'm going to be honest, like, oh, I haven't posted in a while. I need to post something. And I will just go off the cuff and I will put something down. And I know it's not about them. It's just putting something out there. So I know, and I hear you loud and clear, but I got to, like, every single time I have to remind myself to think in that way.
It's not that hard when you start putting that. Have you ever read the books, The Go-Giver?
I have not, but it's on my list.
I would recommend putting that up at the top.
Okay.
Okay. Go-Giver and Go-Giver Sell More. I think it'll really help you understand the importance of putting others first on your page and stuff, and versus just trying to go through the motions. Because first of all, don't feel bad. Okay. Like, you've been in this training for a while. You've probably heard me preach some of the stuff that you're hearing right now, but this is every conversation I pretty much have with everybody.
Yeah.
So this is not an easy thing for people to make the transition. Marketing is not easy. Right. A lot of it is counterintuitive to what you think. Most people that join a network marketing company, they become the product billboard on here, right?
Yeah.
They slap stickers up everywhere. They message people, and they think because they're excited about health and fitness or makeup or whatever the products may be, that everyone else will be as well. And wow, do they get shocked when they find out that most people are not.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So be compassionate with yourself. And I think you are, but don't feel bad about the things that you haven't done up to this point. But this is not going to, it's not going to be okay if you keep doing the same things moving forward.
Right.
All right. So this mentorship program, this goal program, is not for the lighthearted. This is for people that want a massive change.
Totally. That's me. Yep.
Okay. So, so what we want to do is start thinking about for yourself. Okay. I want you to kind of go back in time, maybe even to 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when you started having these thoughts about, I need to take my health more seriously. What are some of the reasons? Did you have family members that got sick?
Yep.
You know, tell me about that. What were some of the things that you saw that you felt people could have prevented, Tracey?
Well, it goes back, and I did this interview process with one of the girls in STB, and not even realizing it, but it goes back to when I was 10 years old and my grandma was in the hospital dying of lung cancer. And I wasn't allowed to see her because I was a child, and they didn't allow that back then. And that was kind of the turning point of when my entire childhood, right up until, God, I'm not even joking, until my late teens, I was afraid of the doctor. I was afraid to go see a doctor because anything that I felt was wrong with me, I thought they were going to tell me it was something terminal. So when my mom would take me to the doctor as a child, I would cry every single time because, you know, and it's so sad, but, you know, at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, I thought the doctor was going to tell me I was dying. And it would just be for a sore throat or whatever. But in my mind, knowing that my grandma died, I guess it was my reality that we don't live forever. And I turned that into, like, anytime you feel sick, that means you're going to die. So, and it literally, I wasn't up until I was out on my own and I was, you know, getting colds and things that I kind of made a shift. I told myself, I have to get over this fear. And so I would, you know, as a 20-something-year-old would start going to the doctor and things like that, and still very afraid. I'm still afraid of it today. Like, I'm still afraid that, oh my God, I have a mole. It's turning colors. It might be melanoma. I'm going to die, right? So in that, getting older has always been a fear of mine because that means, like, we are, you know, we're getting older and it's imminent, death is upon me. And it sounds,
Start
so
making my grave.
like I don't live my entire life in fear. I do actually live a great life. It's just, I want to do anything and everything I can to prevent myself from, getting cancer or whatever. And if that means eating better, and if that means, whatever, exercising, that's what I do. And that is my pain point for sure. And it all stems from when I was a little kid.
Do you talk about this on your page?
No.
So you went through the interview. You knew this was one of the reasons, but you don't bring it up.
Right.
Okay.
Actually, I think I have talked about it once in a live video a very long time ago. But the thing is, how many times are you supposed to go over your story over and over? Like
how many times do you think it takes to sink into somebody?
Well, I've heard you guys say like 7 times minimum before people will even say yes or yeah.
Right. And it's not like you're going on there regurgitating the same things, but you need to get in the habit of bringing up why you're doing this a lot and how you're helping people. All right. So I'm not going to lie. You're going to have to do a lot of rebranding and re-examining, what you're doing and how you're posting. And ultimately, the good news is it's not that hard once you kind of start figuring out why you're doing this, how you want to help people, what are some of the pain they're going through, because then you can kind of make every conversation kind of lead the same way. Okay?
Okay.
So with that in mind, Tracey, you got a good story. I mean, that's very, I wouldn't say super common, but I'd say it's common.
Okay.
People having a fear of growing old, fear of being sick, fear of the doctor. Hell, my dad's afraid of the doctor.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
so
morbid to be like, I don't know. It just doesn't sound very, I guess you have to flip the story from being like, this is why I'm doing this and this is why I want to help people. And then like the bright side is you can do things to, help people. I don't know. The reason why I haven't told it often is because I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer.
No. Okay. So there's a difference. And that's a good point. Okay. There's a difference between going on there and we've all seen these posts. Not again. Why does this keep happening to me? Or, does life really have to be this difficult? Blah, 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 blah. Nobody wants to hear that whiny crap.
Right? Exactly.
But if you're sharing your experiences and you're sharing your story and you're sharing, like, hey guys, I lost my grandma when I was 10 years old. And, back then they didn't let you go in there to connect or whatever. And for me, I just associated doctors with death, or I just associated those that went there, those that went to a doctor. Sorry, my cat's trying to drink my shake. Those that went to the doctor were so sick that they probably would die, or whatever, which is, I guarantee you people, this is like people that are afraid of the dentist, it's like they're afraid of the pain that they possibly might go through.
Yeah.
For a doctor, nobody wants to be told you have something terminal or whatever, right? And so it's an understood fear. It's not like you're, I'm afraid to go outside or whatever, like then it would be a pretty unique phobia. In this case, it's very common. Like I said, my dad, he still hasn't gotten a colonoscopy because I guarantee you he's afraid of the doctor.
Yeah. I understand
that. So he hasn't gotten the things he should be done. And my grandpa died of colon cancer.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just saying you need to get people saying yes to and understanding what they're going through in this case, which is, I get the feeling your target market, your avatar, the pain they're going through is a fear of growing old.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. And what you could do is, and here's how you begin to kind of rebrand. I want you to start making a list on the left side of all these little pain points that you've been through. fear of the doctor, and maybe there's other things too, you know, like this is why you always were super healthy about eating. You were trying to be proactive with these things, just things that you went through that you knew were unique to you and what you did about them. Because this is where you transition from being a Debbie Downer to actually being a leader or someone that actually would be part of connecting with people in a community. Okay.
Yeah.
You share your story not by going in there and complaining about life and talking about how hard it is, but you go in there and say, these are some of the things that I've been through, but here is what I'm doing about it.
Yeah. Okay. The things that I'm doing to overcome those fears. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you've come a long ways, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Still, yeah. I still have some fears there, but you know, it is what it is.
They're always going to be there.
Yeah.
They are. It's not like you're just getting, it's not like an alcoholic can just get over it.
Right.
Or whatever, an addict or someone with a phobia or whatever. It's, you know, I use the analogy of this. I remember one time I was out climbing, like literally mountain climbing with a friend, right? And I had never done it before. And went up, and it was probably, 60 feet up. So it was high up.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm climbing up, and I've got all the safety gear on and all that stuff. And I'm going all the way up, and I actually made it up. Right. And after I made it up, my friend was up there. I don't know if he was guiding or whatever from the top, and there was someone at the bottom. But he was up there, and this guy had done it a lot. And imagine a cliff. Okay, like see where my hand is. Imagine a cliff, and his feet were on the edge of that cliff.
Oh God.
Looking down. And I'm like, dude, how do you do that?
Right.
Because I had to belly crawl up and peek over.
Yeah, that would be me.
Yeah. And what he told me really sunk in, which is, I feel the fear, but I do it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm like, oh, okay. So you are just as afraid as I am, but you just keep going.
Right.
Yeah. So it's the same thing, is you're always going to feel it. You're always going to have that feeling inside of you.
Right.
But the difference between winning and losing is just not giving up and pressing on.
Right.
And
okay.
knowing that. So make a list. Start making a list of just these pain points. Start thinking about these things. And then what I want you to do, which is I've told a lot of people to do recently, which has made a huge difference in how they approach business and how they repurpose and rebrand their content, to start putting others first, like their fans.
Yeah.
You've been at this for a year and a half. I want you to start talking to people and think about like 3 to 5 people that you've worked with the last year and a half.
Okay.
And I want you to go back and I want you to interview them.
Okay.
Ask her, what pain has she gone through? Why did she want to start? Why did she want to do Beachbody? Why was she interested in working with you amongst the hundreds of thousands of other coaches?
Right.
What were some of the things that she struggled with? You need to start thinking about, what are these women, your avatar, what's the pain points that they're going through?
Right. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. And what their reasons are and why they're with me yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's going to give you huge amounts of insight, Tracy.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So you need to kind of just be obsessed with learning, like, what are they struggling with? And I'll tell you this, like we used to do like a lot of like, videos, getting into people introduced to like either getting on our email list or maybe buy a lower end product or something, just like a My Connection Builder or something like that. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that we did really well was we would always talk about the benefits, then you're going to get this and then you're going to get that. But something that I was not good at, that I needed to work on, and I actually learned this from my coach, who I spend $25,000 a year with.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I absolutely believe in mentorship and coaching.
Yeah.
So, it's changed my life more than you could even know. And I've been doing this for 10 years.
Right.
But one thing that he pointed out to me was, I am not digging into people's pain points.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about what it is, because there's really two reasons people are going to buy from you, Tracy. One of them is if you can, they will gravitate towards pleasure. Like, will this make me feel better?
Okay.
Okay. The other one is the more powerful of the two, which is get me away from my pain.
Yeah.
So here's what you want to do, and really think about this, okay?
Okay.
Think about the pain they're going through. And it sounds a little mean right now what I'm about to say, but you need to do this. I need you to aggravate it. Pour salt on the wound a little bit.
Okay.
Okay? Because that's what motivates people, and like, oh God, she's right. But then you offer them a solution.
Yeah.
Does this make sense?
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. So, okay. So one of the other reasons, I guess it was like once I became a client, started doing Beachbody as a client, I was also going through perimenopause and menopause, and I was having horrible hormonal issues. And I found that by exercising and eating right, it was balancing my hormones, and it was helping me in that regard too. So that was more of the story that I was leaning towards, and the pain points, the things that I was bringing up that I could help people with, the mood swings and the hot flashes and the night sweats and all of these horrible, horrible things that I have been through. So that was more of what my story was, rather than going way back to, because like I said, I felt like the other story was too morbid and like, I don't know. So I was, my story was more about like how I can help women with hormone issues and hormone imbalances as they're going through perimenopause and menopause in midlife, and how they can be healthy, and yes, they can lose the belly fat and da 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 da. So that was the pain points that I was trying to hit on with my posts and my lives.
All right. Two things then. First one is don't worry about figuring out everything right now.
Okay. Okay.
Just make lists.
Okay.
Okay. So I get the feeling, probably based on chatting with you and you telling me some of the things that you've kind of struggled with, that it's probably hard for you to follow up with certain things unless you know perfectly how it's going to be all laid out.
Yes, exactly. Right? That's me.
Yeah. So that would be one of the things you'd want to write down. I've gotten pretty good at these calls and picking up on people, and I've gotten incredibly empathetic by doing a lot of these calls, by the way.
Yeah.
And I pick up on a lot of people's pain points and a lot of the things that people struggle with just from hearing them talk. Pretty soon I'm going to have my own psychic hotline. Right. Charging $100 an hour. But
in your spare time, right?
Yeah. Just call this 1-900 number.
Yeah.
Miss Cleo. No, so what you want to do is just make the list. Don't worry about planning it all out right now, because you'll figure out more when you talk to your clients.
Yeah. Okay.
When you talk to the people, I just want you to like brain dump at this point. So relieve your brain of the pressure of trying to figure it out and just focus on the lists.
Okay.
All right. And the other aspect of this is not only with like making lists and all that, just realize that like you can talk about both parts of your story, because think of it as like a sub niche within a niche of the way you help people. And maybe the overarching theme of your page is helping you prepare for the golden years.
Yeah.
Helping you realize that your golden years can be the best of your life.
Yeah.
Just something along those lines. It doesn't have to be you being decrepit and old, sitting on the chair watching Matlock reruns.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. You can thrive in your golden years. And my wellness group, the coaching group that I run, I call it, aging greatly, because not just gracefully, but greatly.
Yeah. I mean, that's where I was going to lead to next, is how you want to build your community. All right. So to kind of connect the dots for you a little bit on this, you want to figure out what it is that you do for people. How do you help them? And we would do that, and I'll screen share here in a second, in the second part of the interview or our conversation. But the way you would do that is you'd come up with a good tagline.
Yeah.
Okay. Right now, you're posting your biography. And there's only two people that will read biographies, okay? Or two reasons someone would read your biography. One of them would be is if they already know you and they like you a lot, or they love you, they're part of your family. Then they're
Right.
going to probably want to know more about you, right? The other reason would be is if you're famous. Okay, if you're a celebrity or if you've done something famous, then someone's going to read something. I don't think you're a celebrity, right?
Nope. I wish.
Okay, so then you have to realize from the cold market, unless you're related to them, you're not going to be that interesting to
Yeah.
them. But if they think and see that your page is about them and how you're going to help them, then they're going to be interested.
Right. Right.
Okay, so that's a big transition that a lot of people need to make. Most people.
I know. I just need to flip the switch in my head to them.
Yeah.
Got to be about them, 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 them.
Yeah, and just the way I would always recommend doing that, which helps a lot, is put on a fresh set of glasses when you're looking at these things, as far as always look at it as if you are the customer, potential client, customer, or someone who would join your team.
Right.
Would they be interested? Would they care? Why would they care? And if you're putting one word or a few words at top of a live video, no one's going to watch the live video.
Yeah. Okay. So I got to do more verbiage before I go live. And it has, like, do you suggest that my verbiage or the line that I post before I go live, is it supposed to be something catchy, or like, because I've done that before and it's like, oh, people tend to come on whenever it's like one of those catchy phrase kind of like, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Anything that you can do on your, as far as your headlines, what it's called is your ad copy.
Yeah.
Anything you can do with the copy that is unique, different, but still relevant.
Okay.
Okay, so you would want to create some mystery, create some intrigue. Google top headlines. Google, like what are some of the best headlines out there? Start looking at, and when you go to the store, look at magazines.
Yeah.
Look at the headlines they put in there. None of the headlines on any of the magazines are coincidence.
Right.
They've been tested thoroughly. Start looking at ads that catch your eye.
Okay.
Okay? You have this big advantage of looking at all these things that most people, they never pay attention to this stuff.
Right.
Tracey, I am constantly looking at ads and copy.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
It's
And I
free.
health magazines too.
Yeah, it's free to do. So the way you're looking at it, though, is from a consumer standpoint instead of being a promoter.
Right.
Right? So that's where you flip the switch and you start looking at other things. What are some good headlines? What are some good copy that catches my eye? You're on Facebook a lot or Instagram. Look at what catches your eye, especially the ones that are the ads.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So from there, once you understand that aspect, and you can kind of start pinpointing how you help people, then you can tie everything together. Well, here, I'll screen share here.
Okay.
One sec.
Yeah, I love your cat.
Yeah, she's always here behind me when I'm.
That's so cute.
All right, let me get up here. Where are you from, by the way?
I am in Southern California.
Oh, like by San Diego, or?
No, I'm like 35 miles north of Los Angeles. Like San Diego Valley, Valencia, where Magic Mountain is.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys get out to Eastern California at all?
We do. Yeah. Yeah.
Or skiing, or?
We love to go camping. We're pretty avid like wakeboarders, and which is why I like Stephanie Kathman.
She likes that, yeah.
Yeah, we wakeboard. We go to the lakes a lot. We camp. We do snowboard and snow ski. So we do have a good time.
Good. Well, I hope that you can put that out there a little bit better, even on your page. So you see the screen?
Yep, I do, and I know I need to change my banner for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and again. This is all about, and it looks like a French banner. It looks nice. It looks like the aesthetics are fine, right? Maybe a little bit brighter picture of your face. but
Okay.
like this. But overall, looks good. Um, you're married,
Boyfriend living
okay?
together. Yeah.
And do you guys have kids?
My kids are much older. They're out of the house. His kids live with their mom, but they visit with us a lot. His kids are younger.
Okay, how old are your kids?
21 and 31.
10-year gap, huh?
Yeah. My the 31-year-old is my stepdaughter from a previous marriage.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah, the kids are a lot of work. I've got a 1 and a 4-year-old, so
I know you are in the thick of it.
oh my God. It's probably arguably one of the hardest times besides probably teenage years, I'm
I
sure.
know, but it goes by so fast. And let me tell you, I'm now ready for grandkids. Like I'm ready.
Yeah, that sounds like it's a lot more fun. My
Yeah.
parents do love being grandparents.
Yeah.
So I know my mom and my daughter is her only granddaughter, and so they have a good bond.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is good. I think you'll love it.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, so right now, I'll probably be telling you a few things that you already know, but Dream Achiever, Wine and Chocolate, Life and Balance. Those are just statements about your life that no one will care about.
Right.
Okay. And even wellness coach, it's a very overused term.
Yeah.
So we need to take a step back. And when you make that list, just like imagine it like a T on a piece of paper or whatever. On the left side, just anything that people struggle with. All right. And I think the overarching theme of your page really will be about obviously you're always going to be building a community, Tracey, but really what it's about is like helping people realize that growing older can be great.
Okay.
Okay, and then you can have little subcategories inside of there. Be it stop being afraid to go to the doctor. Be more proactive with your health. All right. I'll give you an example of a story that I'm doing, which is when we went to a marketing convention. When Stephanie and I went to a marketing convention last spring, we had. Have you ever seen the show Shark Tank?
I have. Yep.
Damon John.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was one of the featured speakers there,
Okay.
and really good, really, really good speaker. I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed him, and he talked about uh, feeling sluggish.
Mhm.
And you guys are probably about the same age. And he was feeling sluggish, and he was feeling down, and he was just not feeling himself. Went to the doctor. They couldn't figure out anything. And then someone said, "You need to get an executive physical," which is
Interesting.
essentially like literally it was designed at first for people that are CEOs and executives, like this very thorough physical, um, so that the company wouldn't lose their CEOs who generally tend to be 50, 60 years old,
Right.
so that they wouldn't die or have something happen. And then if you have a good CEO, it's a major hit for the company.
Right.
So they would do these proactive health type things called executive physicals. Well, he did his and found out he had thyroid cancer.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah. So he had cancer, ended up getting all these treatments and took care of it. And by doing this executive physical, it really pinpointed what was going on because they go very deeply into a lot of different blood markers and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And actually hearing that story made me want to go, and I'm like, I want to do that. So I actually looked locally here in Colorado and found something called the MD VIP program.
Yeah.
And I did that, and I think I pay $1,600 a year for my spouse and myself, and we get direct access with a doctor. We can get in anytime. I can call my doctor anytime, and they do thorough blood work and
Wow.
thorough everything.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be doing it the rest of my life.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
Yeah, and these are the things that and they actually have statistics in there, which you could start getting into statistics as well, which is people that I can't remember exactly what the stats are, but it was something along the lines of your 76 people that are in the MD VIP program who do these like executive physical type things are 76% more likely to make it to old age or something like that.
Right.
To make it to live well beyond, because they're being super proactive with, modern medicine.
Right.
And it's all about, it's not even with medicine. It's more about like making the right decisions, because my doctor doesn't like drugs and all those things. He wants me eating healthy. He wants me exercising, all
Right.
those.
More like a functional doctor rather than a
pharmaceutical doctor.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So what you want to do is you think of your tagline, okay?
Okay.
And let's just say it's helping women realize that their golden years can be their greatest. After you come up with your list, you want to actually make another list of all of your taglines. And then what you do is start talking to your customers, start talking to people, have your fans vote on which one they like the best.
Okay.
And then from there, let's just say it's something like that. Helping women realize that they can have their greatest years in the golden years or whatever. Right. And then you go over there and then you tell your story about that. You talk about your grandma. Okay. You talk about your fear. You talk about the hormonal issues in that aspect. And then you can say, you see, this all ties together with when I started becoming more proactive with my health, I started reversing and changing everything about my life.
Yeah. I like that. Yes.
And then the solution that you give them, Tracey, is then you say this, because I'm going to go over here now, okay?
Okay.
So you say this. You say, rather than doing this, which is a pitch.
Yeah.
Okay? This is a pitch. Here's what you need to do. You need to start talking about your life and your story, but tie it into theirs, okay? And what I want you to do is not necessarily focus on all of your fantastic results and getting people to lose weight and whatever.
Yeah.
Focus on building your community, okay? Focus on getting people into your free groups. Focus, and what I would do is start focusing on and thinking about, by the way, I did look fear of the doctor. You know what it's called? Latrophobia.
What?
It's called latrophobia, L-A-T-R-O phobia. It's fear of going to the doctor.
Okay. Also known as white coat disease. I've heard it called that too.
Okay. There's actually a disease for fear of kissing.
That's interesting. I don't have that problem, fortunately.
It's called phlegmia. There's a phobia for everything. But anyway, so what you would want to do, and I'm going to stop screen sharing here because I think I can just talk to you. What you want to do is, instead of pitching them on who wants to join this group that's clearly going to charge you something, okay?
Yeah. Start
thinking about how every call to action that you have or every live video you have should be talking about your community. Okay. Talk about your community. Talk about the salute, and your community is about helping women age gratefully.
Yeah.
All right. It's about helping those women. And then what you can do is like create subsets inside of there, which is inside of this free community, you could be doing fitness challenges. You could be doing health stuff. You could be doing clean eating, whatever it may be. Things that will help people feel better. Okay.
Yeah.
And the reason you want to put that in the forefront and not another challenge group, because you're like, I don't know what to post. Maybe I'll post about another T25 challenge group or whatever, or this new thing Beachbody has coming up. I'll spam the crap out of this on this page and see what happens.
Right.
Right now, you're not earning any reason to pitch anything to anybody.
Yeah.
But when you start earning those things, you do them inside of your group. And here's how you make the transition. And I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but the next call you do, I think it'll be easier for you. Okay? Which is, let's say you make your list, which you're going to do, and you interview 3 to 5 people, more the better, and you start talking to them. And I actually would prefer if you interview them, and go get a Google Hangout or a Google account, not a Google, I'm sorry, a Zoom account, and try to go live with them.
Okay.
And interview them that way. That will be raw and real. And then your call to action is not selling anything, but get them into your free groups. That one, I would recommend having an ongoing free group.
Okay.
To build people and build relationships. The same way, look at the way we do things. Okay?
Yeah.
When someone comes into my free, and it's a free group, but it's not, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because no one can come into my group unless they've actually purchased a product.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
But anyone that comes in pretty much can stay in for life. And we pretty much answer every single question.
Yeah, exactly.
I show up for people. I provide value. I want anyone to come in to wholeheartedly recommend me to other people.
Right.
Okay. So it's the same thing for you, Trace. When you come in, and here's the big deal that you need to change, which a lot of people get wrong. When you have somebody that say they're interested in checking out a 7-day clean eating challenge, okay? You could say this to them. All right, Susie. And Susie commented on one of your live videos. So you're connecting back and forth. And you have at the top of your page in the banner, you talk about how you help women age gratefully and help them to realize the not the end, but the latter parts of their years can be their most enjoyable, and they can have their cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
Right? They can have an amazing time. And what you do is you say to Susie, Susie, first of all, thank you for commenting on my live video. It really means a lot to have you part of my community, because you need to start talking like she's already in your community. She's part of your tribe.
Okay.
And then what you say to her is, you can see at the top of my page that this is about my page is about helping women age gratefully. That helping them have amazing, either retirements or just realizing that they don't have to be sitting in a chair barely being able to get up, that they can be active and have fun and feel amazing.
Right.
Tell me what brings you here, Susie. What are some of the things that you press up against? You can see in my description a little bit about my story, but I want to know more about you.
Okay.
That just become interested in these people. Don't go right for the jugular and be like, you sound like you'd be perfect for insanity and Shakeology, or whatever.
Right.
That's what most coaches do.
Yeah, I know. That's what my coach does. And, yeah, that's what she's all about. And the inviting and the inviting and the inviting. And I'm like, ugh, no.
There's no relationship there. Now, you don't have to be there. Now, I want you to understand there's a difference between, there's different ways to develop relationships with people. And the one thing you want to avoid is being caught on the opposite end, which is being caught in the friend zone.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard you guys talk about that before. Yeah.
It happens a lot to people, which is they get caught up in the name of their cats and blah, blah, blah. What are you guys doing today? Small talk, small talk, small talk. And you don't want to get caught up in that loop.
Right.
What you need to realize and position yourself as a resource to help people age gratefully.
Right.
Okay. So learning about things that are basically irrelevant to that will do no good for you or them.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more about what pertains to the group and how to help them.
Yes. And what you want to do is this. I want you to be a big gatekeeper for that group. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you don't just allow everybody in there.
Okay.
Okay. You're not just auto approving everyone. I just need more eyeballs. That's not what this is about. Quality versus quantity, always. Okay? So I want you to tell people, hey, you guys, hey, Susie, thank you for sharing some of the things that you're struggling with, some of the pain points you have. I want you to realize that I practice what I preach. I truly want to help people as I help myself. Mm-hmm. I have a community that doesn't cost you anything to join, to be part of, and it will get you amazing results. But you've got to show up for me if you're going to be in there. You have to pay attention. You have to participate, because if you don't, I will remove you from there.
Okay.
Can you show up for me, Susie? Can you show up for yourself? Yes, I can. How could she say no if she wants to change?
Right, exactly.
Then inside of there is what you do is you do little subgroups. You could either do them right inside of there. I want you really getting intimate in those groups, in your group.
Okay.
Okay. So, and then if you want to do little weekly challenges or something, but then always transition into, I want them thinking, God, if this free group is great, imagine what the paid one is like.
Yeah.
That's where you do your pitching.
Okay. Yeah, that's so much easier.
It's a lot easier and it's way more natural, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, for sure.
So
And
every
then,
call to action you have on your page, Trace, will be about building your community, not selling challenge packs.
right.
You sell your challenge packs in your groups.
Exactly. I love that. That's so much better, so much, yeah, more organic. And then like interviewing people because I do get people in my group and they say they want to do it and then they just like disappear, like they don't participate. So by actually interviewing them first and making sure that they really are truly in it for the right reasons, it's kind of, then
That's
I
where the
know,
positioning comes in.
yeah,
That's where if they know that you're more of a badass with these things and more stern in how you draw a line in the sand and say, I'm not here. Don't waste my time. I'm not going to waste yours.
right. I
Right.
need that. Totally. I need that because I do find myself like, okay, I just let people stay in there even though they're not even showing up.
It's going to be a huge difference. It'll be uncomfortable at first to start removing people. But
Yeah.
what I would do is even start off with the group that you have going and basically give them an ultimatum.
Yeah.
Show up or I will ship you out.
Yeah. I thought about doing that. And then I thought, you know what? Because I have those that will come in and then they fall off the wagon and then they show up again. But it's not good for the other people who are in there, who are constantly posting and being a part of it. It just doesn't feel right that they should be able to be in there if they're not really ready. Plus, by backing them up against a wall, maybe I can really help them get to the goals that they have for themselves if I'm more stern.
Well, it's really what it's going to do is it's going to create one of two things. It will either it'll push them to the edge where they want to do this, or they're just going to leave and save you the time. So it's a double benefit.
Totally. Yeah. Okay. I've been wondering if that's what I should do, and you just kind of validated that. So that's good.
And it's probably whatever you think you need to do it twice as hard.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So trust me on this one too, which is don't oversell or don't worry about, like, real attraction marketing happens when you stop caring about those that are just wannabes.
Right.
Okay. Real attraction marketing happens when you don't care if someone joins or not. You just know that you'll do whatever you can for those that actually want the help.
Right.
Don't worry if they don't want to do it. That's on them. That's not on you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I spoke to a woman who's interested in joining, and I went through the whole thing with her. And that was the question I asked her is like, I need to know that you're really ready, because I do have people that say they're ready and then they're really not. And she, so as part of that, this is exactly what you're talking about. I did this with a conversation I had with a woman who's never been in my group, a free group or anything. And she wants to start with me. And I asked her point blank, like, I need to know that you're really ready. I can only do so much, but you have to be in it. You have to have your head in the game and be ready to make the change too. So I think that's got to be part of it.
No question. Tracy, do you use My Connection Builder?
Yes, I do. I do.
Okay, so
I still have a lot to learn, but I'm trying to block time for me to, like, okay, now today I need to, for 10 minutes, look at MCB and what am I not using that I should be using. Like yesterday, I started doing auto message replies. So that's working now.
So, and those are fantastic areas that will save you time. So we're going to wrap this up. I'm going to give you a couple more you have a lot of homework, but
that's okay.
But I'll give you a couple other things that are going to help you with time management as well.
Okay.
But this is something I would do too. Within MCB, I would, as you have people coming in, say you figure out your tagline, say you figure out how you're going to help people, and you're building your community up. You have your big group that you're filling up.
Yep.
I would, before you have anyone come in, maybe come up with a questionnaire. Have them literally write out and then send back to you. You can use a Google Doc or anything like that, but have them fill it out and send it back to you with the things that they are struggling with.
Okay.
Pain that they have, whatever else, because this is your ammo.
Right.
Then what you can do is you can say, Susie, you'd mentioned you're sick of carrying around this extra weight and blah, blah, blah. She's telling you all these things. You're sick of always feeling tired in the mornings and always feeling lethargic. This is your opportunity to make a change. Are you ready? If not, okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But and then put that into MCB. Put those notes in MCB.
Yeah. Plus that helps me really narrow down who I am attracting and why am I attracting, and I can just continue using that as like drilling down to the people that the reason why they're attracted to me. Hopefully it's the people that are my avatar.
Well, it will change and that will evolve as you hone in on your messaging, and then you get more stern with your positioning with them.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then the time blocks. The easiest way to do this is go through, do your IPA challenge that we did in there, week 1, and then look at week 2 and look at how you use your time.
Yeah, I did that last week actually, but it's kind of unfair because I was off work, and so
yeah, do it on a normal week.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it this coming week.
Yeah, do it when it's average, like an average week for you. And then I want you to look at that, and what I want you to do is most people kind of overestimate what they can accomplish in a day, okay, or even their week. So I want you to take a conservative approach, but block time really, if I was to give you the Cliff Notes version of it, is I want you to start thinking, maybe I can do 1 hour a day, okay?
Yeah.
If you put 1 hour a day in of just straight up work for 60 minutes, you will accomplish more in 1 week than you will in a month.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
Because you need to think about what your IPs are. What are your income? Your income producing activities really are one thing: people.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. How can I connect with more people? How can I build relationships? How can I get to know their problems?
Right.
And then that's all you got to do is say, I'm from 6 to 7 o'clock. Boyfriend, don't contact me. I'm not going to answer my phone. Only hit me up if your hair is on fire and you need me to put it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? But otherwise, you check out from life and check into my connection builder and work.
Okay.
That's it. That's all you got to do to time block.
Okay.
Find 1 hour a day and get things done.
Okay. I started putting it in my Google Calendar yesterday and really like, okay, this is what I'm going to be doing and setting. I'm going to use the timer in MCB and just
Perfect.
Boom.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
And then what you could do too is, let's just say you and the boyfriend like to go do something on Saturdays. Okay. I'm just being hypothetical, whatever day of the week. I don't care. Take a day off. Take a day off a week and don't work.
Yeah.
And then, but the other day, the Sunday, maybe work a couple extra hours.
Yeah, that's what I do now. Sundays are my days where I come up here and I hammer down, get my posts done for the entire week because I don't like posting all week long. I like to just get them all done.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so that's what you need to do. And then I'm dead serious when I say this too. When you're done with that hour, or if you say an hour and a half, whatever it is, you decide how long. But once you're done with that time,
yeah,
you don't work. You do not do any work.
Okay.
All
That's
right.
the hard part because I still pick up my phone and I'm like, "Ooh, should I answer this? Should I talk to these people?"
Yeah, people can wait. Trust me. If you are being real and providing value and connecting with people, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe what you do is say, I'll do 15 minutes in the morning, an hour in the afternoon or evening.
Yeah.
Or whatever it may be. You know, but just be strict about it because you will actually create psychological deadlines for yourself where you will get more done within that hour or that 15 minutes or whatever.
Yeah. And it'll become a habit. I know that it'll become a habit and I'll be really much better at it. I just need to start doing it.
So you know what your homework is?
I do.
All right.
I do.
All right. So for the next call, I'd like for you to talk with Gary and Todd.
Okay.
So, you know, towards end of January, You have a month now to get some things done.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So end of January, early February, whatever you want to do. I mean, you're going to get a total of 12 calls. Try to book them all once a month.
Right.
But I don't want you to do the call with like, well, I'm kind of still stuck. I want you to get a lot done, make a lot of mistakes, and then use this as a resource to help blast you through those things.
Okay. I love you guys are the best, honestly. I really why I'm still here, and that's why I knew being a gold member was going to be worth it. I've got real skin in the game, which means I'm not messing around anymore. So
well, then I'll ask you this too, which is something I recommend. If you got somebody who's happy, I would love for you to go in and to the group and just say, enjoyed my call. You guys, if you can grab a silver membership, do it. There's no more golds left. But get in there and grab them and tell people, because a lot of people need these tipping points, and getting other people like yourself, that provides real social proof to help people actually get motivated to take action.
Okay.
So it would mean a lot to me, Tracey.
Okay. You got it.
All right. I'm going to send you a link to the YouTube recording of this. It'll just be private for us, but it will remain in your files section. If you need anything, message the page if you have any questions. Otherwise, we're going to be here for you for any questions or whatever else. And I will fill Gary and Todd in on all of this as well.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much.
Hey, I can't wait. I can't wait to see the changes.
Me too.
It's going to be fun. All right. Hey, you have a great New Year's.
You too. You too. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.